Welcome to Brothers of the Word, because, brother, you need the Word. And before I begin today, those of you who are listening electronically or watching, those of you here in the sanctuary, God just says today, before I even begin with His Word, just for you to just take a deep breath. So I just want everybody to just take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath in through your nose and just blow it out through your mouth. Sometimes God will set the stage and He'll just have you do something even before His Word comes forth. And I've been out of town for most of last week, and I just got back last evening. And while I was away, God spoke to me and He said, I want you to just read the book of Revelation. I want you to read it, even though I've already read it. I hadn't read it in a long time. He said, I want you to read the book of Revelation. And right now we are in a time period where there is an increasing consciousness towards an apocalyptic future. There are 5 movies that are out or just recently been out. And all 5 of those movies deal with an upcoming apocalypse. There's the movie Knowing and 2012 and The Road, the Book of Eli, and Legion. All of them deal with the world as we know it coming to an end. And I saw Legion, and while I was watching Legion has to do with all of these angels that God has sent to basically destroy man. I said, that's a rough movie. But then as I began to read Revelation, it brought back to mind what was in Revelation, and God sent the angels to fundamentally destroy this stuff. And sometimes we have to understand God's word, and as we even watch some of these movies, and I'll speak, or either Pastor James will speak very soon, dealing with the upcoming 2012 phenomenon. But as we see this stuff, we have to understand this is God. When you read Revelation and when you read all of the pestilence and all of the disease and all of the earthquakes and the destruction that came forth, God sent the angels to send all of this stuff on the earth because man fundamentally wasn't doing right. So all of this stuff, but when you're in it, see, it look bad. When you're in it, you think it's the devil. But when you read God's word, God sent this stuff. See, a lot of this stuff we go through, it looks like the devil. But God sends some of this stuff. So as I read through Revelation, I got new revelation all over again. And when I got in last night, I was not prepared to speak today because we were supposed to have a guest speaker today, but they had left a message on my voicemail saying that they were not feeling well and they would not be able to come and deliver the message today. So I said, well, Lord, what do I talk about? And then I understood partly of why He had me read Revelations. He said, I want you to speak from Revelation chapter 3. So turn to Revelation. It's easy to find. It's the last book of the Bible. But Revelation chapter 3, it talks about 3 churches of the 7 churches of Revelation. And those 3 churches are the dead church, the faithful church, and the lukewarm church. These words are in red. This is Jesus speaking. And He says to those who are dead in Revelation chapter 3, verses 1 through 6, to the angel of the church in Sardis write, these are the words of Him who holds the 7 spirits of God and the 7 stars. I know your deeds. You have a reputation of being alive, but you are dead. Jesus said you got a reputation. The city knows you as being alive, but you are dead. See, sometimes in the church we have a reputation. Oh, they're a good church goer. They go to church every Sunday. Or they go to church every other Sunday. See, some of you don't even have a reputation of being alive. They know you just dot the door to church every now and then. You don't even have a reputation of being alive. Because the first thing you got to do is you just even be here. You don't even have the reputation of, they can look at you and tell something wrong. So He says you have the reputation of being alive, but you are dead. Now, of course, Jesus was not talking about a physical death. He was talking about spiritual death. That they look lively, they look like they were in God, they look like they were worshiping Jesus, but in truth, they were spiritually dead. And this is what he tells them. Wake up, strengthen what remains and is about to die, for I have not found your deeds complete in the sight of my God. He says, wake up and strengthen what remains that is about to die. If you're in church, there's still something in you, even if you're dead. Because there's something in you that has you here, even if you're dead, even if you're not doing what you know God has ordained you to do, even if you're not halfway faithful to the church. There's something in you. There is a seed. There is an ember that is glowing. There's something in you that's still alive. So Jesus says, wake up. Yeah. The next church was the faithful church. Now remember, this is in red. Revelation 3, verses 7 through 11. To the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, these are the words of him who is holy and true, who holds the key of David. What he opens, no one can shut, and what he shuts, no one can open. I know your deeds. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. I know that you have little strength. Jesus is telling the people, look, I know sometimes you don't have a whole lot. See, the church that was dead, they had plenty of money. But the church in Philadelphia, he says, I know you have little strength. I know you don't have a whole lot of resources. I know you may not have a whole lot of education. I know you may not have a whole lot of status in society. I know you have little strength, but I know your deeds. And you're taking that little that you have, you're taking what God has given you, and you're doing with what God has given you what he wants you to do. I know your deeds. Yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name. I will make those who are of the synagogue of Satan, who claim to be Jews, though they are not, but are liars, I will make them come and fall down at your feet and acknowledge that I have loved you. Since you have kept my command to endure patiently, I will also keep you from the hour of trial that is going to come upon the whole world to test those who live on the earth. All this stuff that's coming in the future, to the faithful church, he says, I'm going to keep you in that hour so you won't have to go through that stuff. I am coming soon. Hold on to what you have so that no one will take your crown. To the lukewarm. And remember, this is in red. Turn to the person next to you and ask him, are you just warm? And see, actually, if you notice back on the screen here, there are faucet handles, cold on one side and hot on the other. The dead church was just cold. The faithful church was hot. But the lukewarm was just right in the middle. You neither cold nor hot. And Jesus said, look, and that, you come to church, you sit, you sing, you go home and, you're neither cold nor hot. You're just kind of warm. And you know how it is with food, and it's just warm. It's neither cold nor hot. It's just warm. And Jesus said, look, he said, I'd rather for you to just be on one end or the other. I'm just going to spew you out of my mouth because you're not even on fire any kind of way. We're just following through the rote, but we have no real passion behind things. We just there. When we get up from our seats, it's warm. And it's the same way our hearts are. We lack, in a nutshell, we just lack passion. You're just warm. You don't hate anything, but you're just warm. And Jesus said, he said, look, he said, I wish you were either one or the other. You're neither cold nor, he said, I just wish you were just cold or hot.